I Am Priceless. By Rachel, Living Light. Webpage, stirringthedeep.com. Years ago, the awareness of my inability to truly love reached an all-time high, which brought me to one of my all-time lows until I realized it birthed the consuming desire to divinely love all always, which is the key to eternal life. Upon the wings of that desire, the instructions of how I could love this way began to flow from the spirit and into my soul in a perfect orchestration that constructed new thought forms within my soul consciousness. Ultimately, my soul needed to possess a consummate oneness with the divine consciousness, for only the divine consciousness produces divine love. Since then, I've been in pursuit of the manifestation of this sublime oneness on all levels of consciousness. What I've perceived within my soul is the unfoldment of the most beautiful living love story that extends back to Genesis, which almost daily grows more beautiful. We love our Creator, yet He loves us far more. The Supreme Divine Spirit continually leads us home into His divine consciousness, until all are home. My pursuit creates a humbling and enlightened path. It exposes every nook and cranny of my soul to the purest light, which burns away all that hinders divine love's expression. This desire leads me deep into the plains of divine truth where divine love is revealed and defined. Consequently, my inner awareness continually expands in truth and life, creating new thought forms and birthing the divine consciousness in my conscious awareness. In the past, I've written about how an inherent lack of value sits at the root of our self, our core issue affecting all else. Possessing this characteristic prohibits divine love because to manifest divine love is to act out of an infinite value for all, including yourself. Possessing infinite value is the result of giving and receiving divine love. Infinite value is created by ever-expanding growth life, which comes from the energetic vibrations of divine love flowing through us. Lack of value is created by the lack of growth death, which also is doing the same thing over and over. If something is dead, it produces no true growth, thus no true value. If something is continually growing, then it produces ever-expanding or infinite value. The divine self-manifestation of the Christ consciousness is life. It continually gives and receives divine love. This love is the essence of its being, and what makes it grow and eternally alive. Therefore, inherent to the divine self is infinite value. Our shadow self is unreal dead. It's able only to imitate what it believes divine love to be, it can do no other. Our shadow self is formed out of the illusionary perception that we are separated from divine love. This forms a core belief that we are unworthy, rejected, unlovable, or somehow less than perfect. It is a state of consciousness we pass through, like a dream, in order to shape our conscious understanding of divine love. Therefore, inherent to the shadow self is a lack of value and its corresponding lack of life-death. So, infinite value is an inherent quality of the divine self and a lack of value is an inherent quality of our shadow selves. Everything that our Creator does is purposeful and perfect and of infinite value. Though our shadow self doesn't create infinite value, its purpose is infinitely valuable. It allows our soul to learn the many characteristics of divine love that are revealed to our consciousness through our perceived imperfections. When we are bound to the shadow self in our mind, we are unable to manifest divine love, thus we experience an inherent lack of value. We can desire divine love, and learn about this love from the Spirit, but as long as we are unconsciously cloaked in the garments of our shadow self, we can't manifest it. Therefore, it is only when we become conscious of the divine self that we can manifest divine love and possess infinite value. Once our soul is prepared for this transformation by obtaining the necessary thought forms to manifest the divine consciousness, then our mind begins a monumental shift from serving the shadow self to serving the divine self, which I've been talking about in my previous posts. The mind gains a new master, the Christ consciousness, and the self-directed consciousness is dissolved. When this transmutation is complete, then infinite value and divine love are experienced and expressed through the soul, mind and body. The I Am is out-manifested on the plane of the senses, bringing the divine consciousness to all realms of consciousness, thus into creation. Though I've struggled with my inability to love as I desire, it is what motivates me to pursue what my soul knows is true but what my flesh eyes don't yet perceive. As each contrary thought is brought into my awareness and cast aside for the divine thought, our conscious part in our metamorphosis, an eternal light fills my eyes. This internal light awakens my soul to who I am and that I am an expression of the divine consciousness. It's an awakening to what has always been: the kingdom is at hand. In the light, I am divine love. I can be no other, for this divine love is all that truly exists. I perceive the divine self in all of creation. And in this light, the shadow self and all the personalities and struggles it manifested fade as a dream in the morning light. My contentment resides in the truth that my expanding awareness into the divine is our Creator's workmanship in me, which end was accomplished at His first thought of it. His process of enlightening my mind is perfect. And as infinite value surmounts my thoughts, all of creation is lifted up in divine love. There is only one consciousness, one mind, one divine self of which we are all a part. When this truth is our truth, this singleness of mind is out-manifested into our mind, body and all that we perceive. These new garments cloak us in boundless joy, the reflection of our Creator's out-manifested form.